Listen, if you ask me about my opinion, it's not my choice to make who goes to hell and heaven. So why would it matter what I say when the truth is already there? If the truth has been there, if you cannot understand the first thing, then you can't go on to the second thing. How can you try to move on from first step to last step when you're trying to speak to someone? If you don't have the knowledge and you're asking a question, if you cannot understand the simple answer, when you ask something, they tell you the answer. If you cannot understand, you ask it 10 times, then you jump to a conclusion, and you still haven't accepted the first bit of the truth. They attack again. The attack of the... They found amusement. They found liars to lie to them. Yeah, so it's simple things when people choose to ignore, yeah, that it gets to all this division and all this wrong ways, which there's so many, but there's only one right way. If we understand something and we accept it, yeah, and make a decision in doing so, then we got a chance of making it through.
Now we have to understand one thing. You know, we say that these people are good, yeah? But we have to look at history.
Yeah, well
the
done.
Prophet, from the time that his mission started till the time that these surahs were revealed, there was a gap of 15 to almost 19 years, right? So
Yeah.
in these 15 to 19 years, how is it that they didn't come on the haqq? Because
Exactly.
Surah Tahrim was revealed in the 7th year of Hijrah, Surah Hujurat in the 9th year of Hijrah. Why is Allah rebuking them after so many years? And that is after the Pledge of Rizwan,
So many
after
times.
the Treaty of Hudaybiyah,
Yeah, because
and
Allah had to
after
answer
Surah
you.
Tawbah.
Yeah, well done.
So you have to
Allah answered so
understand
many
the chronological order of these ayats. Yes, Quran is revealed in different portions and they put it together in what is the context,
Yes.
but these
gotta put
are
it
Meccan and
together.
Medinan surahs clearly.
Well done. Absolutely. You gotta put it all together. You can't just move on from the first thing you choose to ignore. Yeah? And then you're gonna ignore all the pieces and you can't understand any of it. And then that leads to confusion and Allah misguides those who He wants.
Even some of the hadiths, they have classification because some people's memory was weak. If you have a weak memory, how are you translating the hadith? How are you giving the sunnah? Your memory has to be strong. That's why you have Sahih, Hasan, even in Hasan li ghayrihi, Hasan li dhatihi, then you have Zahif, you know, and then you have further classifications. They say there's almost 100 classifications because of the way that you have to interpret the hadith. And then each of these schools of thought, they pray differently as well. Why can't they agree on a simple way to pray?
let
The
me
Shias
answer
pray
that.
one way.
Yeah, let me answer that. That is a question that deserves an answer. Well done. We have to understand all of these things. If we can't understand these things, then we can't get to the truth. So if we can't get to the truth, that's a sign that we're not following the right path.
And if they say that we need to follow the schools of thought, either Hanafi, Shafi, Maliki or Hanbali, well, why do you need to follow them?
Exactly, they come so much later because if you can't follow the Ahlulbayt, then you're going to have to try to make up something later on. You're going to have to do so much things. Yeah, when people are making so many mistakes, yeah.
The truth is that the hadith have been misinterpreted in a way that it's based on ijma, qiyas, on their opinion.
It doesn't work like that.
So then if I was today to say I want to become a Sunni, I have to choose one of the schools of thought because it's wal jama'ah, it's not Ahl
back
Sunnah.
to the beginning, yeah. You have to go to the source.
When I choose that, I have to choose based on what I feel is right. So the Sunnah has to be clear and concrete. It's not on my
How can you take your
opinion.
religion from some people when they're not even pure?
Exactly.
Yeah? So Allah has clearly said these people are pure. If you follow them, it's fine. But these people who came later, they don't even know what's going on. They never even met the Prophet. So how can you take your sunnah from someone if you don't think that they're higher than the Prophet?
Who is better to be followed than the one who was raised by the Prophet himself, and regarding who there is not a single Quranic ayat against him, nor a single hadith in the Shia or the Sunni sources, but the others you do have sources against them.
Well done.
So you have to choose the best of them, which is Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam.
We do this all the time.
And if you consider Ali to be just and truthful, you have to say that who Ali said follow after me, Ali will not tell you the wrong way.
Exactly.
Allah says, and the Prophet says, Ali is with the truth and the truth with the Ali. So if Ali says after me follow him, you follow that person because Ali is truthful.
That's it. It's so simple. When you understand one thing, Allah shows you another thing. But if you can't understand it, you can't make sense of it.
Now if you follow the Sunnah of Ahlul Sunnah, why I say they have different classifications is because some people turn out to be liars. So I don't want to go and follow liars. I want to follow Ali. Ali's Rasulullah confirmed the truthfulness of Ali ibn Abi Talib in his lifetime.
If you want to get to heaven, you have to follow the truth. If you can't follow the truthful, then you can't get to the truth. If you follow those who are liars, then they're going to hell. So it's do you want to be with Allah?
Now if you look at, for example, the Pledge of Rizwan, yeah? And you look at the ayahs regarding Muhajir Ansar. Uthman was never a Muhajir because he never immigrated from Mecca to Medina. He is excluded from that already. In the Pledge of Rizwan, he was absent because the pledge was taken to save him from the Quraysh. So he was absent from both of those, so the ayah does not apply to him at all. Now if you look at Surah Hujurat, Ibn Kathir, he's saying their deeds were to be nullified. If your deed is nullified, you have to look in the Quran. Whose deed is nullified?
Who's Ahlulbayt in the Quran? Exactly. It's when Allah is distinctive, is showing a difference between the wives. Who's Ahlulbayt? Every prophet didn't have an Ahlulbayt.
Exactly.
Only 2 prophets had Ahlulbayt. That is mentioned in the Quran. So when we put so many pieces of the puzzle together, you start to make sense. You can't just look at one thing and you can't make sense of it. And you say, no, I disagree. You haven't seen everything. You haven't followed the truth. Who's the Ahlul Bayt that we're supposed to follow? Is it the wives? So if we know that it's Quran and Ahlul Bayt, then we know. And we either choose to agree or disagree. But is it Quran and Ahlul Bayt or Quran and Sunnah? If they know that it's Quran and Ahlul Bayt, that's why they don't disagree on the next point, which is who's the Ahlul Bayt? We already know who's the Ahlul Bayt. All you have to do is look at the two sides, and you can see the truth by looking at the truth, by searching for the truth.
If we were to only follow the companions, right? Well, there were more than 100,000, they say, in the videos previous, or 120,000.
120,000.
And if those companions compiled wrong hadith, how can we follow them? And also, we have to look at the meaning of a sahabi. There are 7 different versions of what a sahabi is. So you have to even first understand what is a sahabi. You know, it's so confusing and so many different opinions.
And you got the companions of the garden. That's clear.
That's why you have
clear in the Quran. You're either companions of the fire or you're companions of the garden. If you want to go to heaven, if heaven is so important, yeah, then if that's what's important for you, but following Allah, following truth, following the Prophet and the Prophets and Ahlul Bayt, it was important for us to notice.
One question, who is the head of the Ahlul Bayt? Who is the head?
Everyone knows the first head of the Ahlul Bayt, it has to be
Rasulullah
sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Now another question, if we follow Muhajir and Ansar, can we follow the women of the Muhajir and Ansar?
But the Muhajir and Ansar, are they, if they're part, if the Ahlul Bayt are part of the Muhajir and Ansar?
But even then, in Islam, can you follow a woman in prayer?
Exactly, you can't follow the women, you have to follow the men.
So if we look at Ahlul Bayt, Who are the
done.
male members after Rasulullah in the Ahlulbayt?
Exactly.
You
So
cannot follow
we
the
have
wives
to
of the
follow
Prophet.
Imam Ali after
You have to
Rasulullah.
follow the males after.
Exactly.
According to Islam,
So, how can you follow the women when you can't follow the women in
you
Islam?
can't follow the women in Islam.
You have to follow the men. Who's the leader of Ahlulbayt? Rasulullah sallallahu
Rasulullah.
alayhi wa sallam. And after him, you have to follow Imam Ali. After him, you have to follow Imam Hassan. Having the knowledge of the future, it means that you can tell. Rasulullah told the people, these are the people you follow after me.
And if you look in Al-Tabari, they ask, why didn't Allah say follow the Imam? Well, if you look in Tabari, there were so many people that called themselves Imam. Imam meant leader of prayer. Muawiyah called himself an Imam, even though he was a governor. Uthman called himself an Imam. The rest of the Bani Umayyah called themselves Imams. Even the people that were governors of certain provinces, they called themselves Imam. So the word Imam was used very loosely.
Itself, exactly.
So what Rasulullah, he had to actually physically hold Imam Ali's hand and
Yes.
say, this is your Mawla.
Allah is Mawla. And you follow Rasulullah after Allah. Rasulullah is Mawla. And after him, he must explicitly mention that to whom I am his Mawla, Ali is his Mawla. You can't put another meaning on a word. You have to get to the meaning of the word.
And why is it that when the word Imam comes regarding Imam Ali, you use different interpretations, but after Rasulullah, according to the history of Tabari, the history of the prophets and the kings, it only meant leader. Why
There
is
can't
that?
be differences in Islam, that's the thing.
And then for so many different people in different posts.
Exactly.
So
with
the
different
word-
titles, different words given. So where does the word Imam come from? Imam is higher than the word Khalifa. Yeah? If
And-
you look at a lower word, if you look at Khalifa or
And in
Imam,
Quran, the word Imam is A'imma. The plural of Imam, Hazrat Ishaq wa Ismail, Quran says they were A'imma. They were the Imams.
the Imams have always been there. Yeah? They're the Wali of Allah. They are those.
Why did Allah make them Imams? Because
Exactly.
people need leaders to follow. Who are the followers? Shia.
Exactly. You can't call yourself a follower because we have the word follow all the time. We hear the word follow, follow, follow. Follow Quran, follow Ahlulbayt. Follow. So what does this word follow mean? The word follow is specifically given to Shia. The word Shia.
The word Shia even existed before
Shia,
Prophet
yeah,
Muhammad as well.
exactly. So Shia is only referred to the followers who followed the will of Rasulullah and followed Imam Ali after Rasulullah, who took his instructions and held on to the two. So if you hold on to Quran and Ahlulbayt, you know the leader after Rasulullah is Imam Ali.
Exactly. And the
So-
Ahlul Bayt know the Sunnah already.
Exactly. The
So you've got 3 in 1 already.
Ahlulbayt are from the Quran. We take our Sunnah from Ahlulbayt.
Exactly.
Not people who came 200-300 years, 400 years after. So if we know these people are the good people, and that we follow them is important for us if we want to get to the truth, if we want to get to Allah, if we want to go to where Allah has promised us.
And if you look at the Ahadith books, right? Bukhari came in the year 800 CE, whereas Rasulullah was born in 570 CE.
Okay.
Now that's a gap of more than 200 years.
Exactly.
Now if you look at Kitab al-Sittah, even in there, you have 2 books, the Sahihain, from Muslim and Bukhari. Why? Because the method used to collect those hadiths were different by each of those collectors.
Exactly.
Now, if you look at the time of Bukhari to Ibn Majah,
don't know which
there was a
hadith you
400-year
should
gap.
follow.
So the hadith kept
Okay.
evolving on what's
Exactly.
right and what's not.
So which
So they had
hadith
to
do we
base it on
follow?
what we-
One from Ahlulbayt,
what method we use.
or one from
Some believed in Ijma, some
the
didn't.
people
Some
who
believed in
changed the
Qiyas, some didn't.
traditions. Yeah, they changed the tradition.
Now, if you have something,
Bid'ah is another word.
now
that-
if Rasulullah says to pray a certain way, right? You've got 3 different schools of thought that they pray
Exactly.
with their hand here, here, and here.
Yeah.
Why? Because Islam had spread so wide in that time that they interpreted it differently.
Let's go
But
on
the
the other
people
side.
that pray with their hands open, they were nearer to Medina, which was the Sunnah of Rasulullah.
We'll go over that side. Or just stand here? So,
Oh, you want to go here? Go ahead.
yeah. I believe you have a question.
Yes, yes. Something is bothering me. I'm not very.
Don't worry, just be yourself. Be truthful.
Somebody said Indians, they're not Muslim, non-Muslim. They are having a big dance like Bhangra, they and they sing up and the phrase is for Ali who created this world, and then they carry on like this.
I mean,
And being a Muslim,
how do you know who's Muslim and who's not?
because I'm
How do
Muslim
you
by
know?
name.
What makes you
I know-
decide
I'm
who's a
100
Muslim? Because you
I'm
said
100%
some
sure.
people who are not Muslim. You specifically said, I
I'm
don't know.
100% sure.
You're trying to tell me about some people which I don't know. So I have to determine who these people were in order for you. I don't know. You're asking me a question. Are you asking me a question or are you telling me stuff?
they're
Are you
sick
telling
by
me a
religion.
story or are you
No,
asking
no.
me a question?
I want to know what's behind that. Is it true? Ali created this world?
What are you talking about?
Ali created this world?
We know Allah created this world, right? Allah created heaven and the earth.
And then why they're
I mean, are you? I don't understand your question. You explicitly said some people which are Muslim, which are not. Are you talking because you're a Muslim?
I'm a Muslim.
Because I'm asking you what is a Muslim and you can't answer. I'm saying, how do you know somebody is a Muslim and somebody isn't a Muslim? No, I'm trying to help you. You're trying to ask me something. You're asking my opinion. I can't just say anything, right? If I just say anything, then you can either choose to agree or disagree with it. What I'm trying to find out is what are you trying to ask? If you're trying to tell me about some people from your experience should be sufficient enough for you to answer what is a Muslim, that some people who are Muslim or who are not Muslim, they say something or not.
Not Muslim. The question is that
Because that's what you said, right?
Is it true? Is it true? I don't think it's true. I don't believe it.
Okay?
That Ali created,
I already answered your question as well.
Ali created this world.
So who's these people? What I'm trying to
They're
get
not
at,
Muslim. They're
you
not
ask me, who, where are they?
They're 100%
Where are they?
They're
Are
they're
they,
in India.
they're in India.
Yeah.
You met these people.
I know them very
Oh,
well.
you know them very well. And what did they say to you? Don't, you see, Allah knows you better than you know yourself. If you're about to lie right now, yeah, you're gonna stall. What I'm asking you is simple questions, and you're not answering the simple question.
I'm not a scholar.
No,
I'm not
you're
capable
trying
of
to
answering.
determine whether somebody,
I want to know, is it true what they are saying? Is it true?
who's they? Who are you?
None believe.
Do you know yourself?
But how would you find out if it's true when
Yeah.
you have
No.
Surah Qul Huwallahu Ahad, that there is none like him? A man
No,
cannot be like God.
no. You
So-
see, you're changing it. You're changing the subject. You're changing. You're making this about somebody.
This, they got nothing to do with the Quran. They got nothing to do with
Who are they? Who are you? If you know who they are,
I am Muslim by name.
how? Okay, by name. Okay, no one asked you if you are Muslim right now. I asked you earlier and you didn't answer. Now you're answering after a few minutes. And you clarified I'm Muslim by name. So you're not Muslim. If I say by name, no,
I
look,
think I'm a
you
Muslim,
just
my
said,
father was
okay,
Muslim,
so that's what
my
I tried to tell
grandfather
you.
was Muslim,
How
I
can
am
you
a Muslim,
determine whether
my
somebody
children-
is Muslim or not?
My children are Muslim.
Who are you to determine what is a Muslim?
What do you
If
understand
you
by
determine that you are a
Qul
Muslim,
Huwallahu Ahad? What do you understand by that first
Arabic
verse?
is not my language.
It means, say He Allah is unique, there is none like Him.
no, he knows all of this
We
stuff.
reject
Trust me,
Jesus
he knows.
being
He
God-
just tried to determine whether somebody is Muslim or not. He doesn't know if he's a Muslim himself.
Jesus
He's
is not
trying
the son
to
of
say
God
something.
because God is Ahad.
You're trying to avoid the question.
I'm not. You're avoiding it. Look, he's trying to twist it around now. Because I said he's avoiding the point.
is it true?
Now he's trying to pin it on me.
I
So
don't
what
think
you
it's
just
true. I
said,
don't think it's
look. I'm speaking very slow for you. I'm speaking very clear for you. You're speaking in a little voice. You don't seem to know anything.
No, I don't.
I answer every question you're asking. You should be able to understand. If you're asking me a question, I have to understand what you're trying to say to me. So you already ask a question and you already give your opinion about certain people. You already haven't made your mind up about anything.
But
You're
you-
uncertain, so you come and ask me. Are you trying to listen to me? Are you trying to ask me, or are you trying to give your opinion?
I want to make
No,
a-
listen. If you
I
listen
want
to
to
one
make
more
a
second,
confirmation.
I just wanted you to
But
listen to that
another
last
person-
second.
Another person
That
like
last
you
second, you
has
didn't hear.
answered
He
this
didn't hear the last question. He didn't hear the last
no.
part of my question.
If you say
Another
that you
person
don't,
have
He
asked-
did-
you just said now that you don't think it's true. How did you reach that conclusion though?
Don't ask him. He just ignored the truth.
I asked another person like him, same question, and he gave me a good
Because
answer.
if you
very
say-
good answer.
No, but
Can I
if-
tell
if-
you what did he say?
Okay.
He said
His opinion of good answer is what he wanted to hear.
That was the
What I'm trying to
like
make
you.
clear. I'm not just trying to give an
A
answer.
married man.
I'm trying to make
a
clear
married
for you.
man, a priest
Why
like
would you ask something?
He asked. He told
Why would you
me-
ask something?
He told me the answer, and I'm very convinced with the answer.
But
He said in Hebrew, Ali means God.
Ali is the name of God.
Yeah.
How many times? How many times in the Quran? How many times in the Quran? Okay, no.
The answer-
Listen to me.
the answer
Listen.
said-
Why? You see, he's
Ali-
avoiding
they
everything.
mean it-
He
then
said,
they
"I'm
said
trying to
Ali-
avoid."
Then they said
Well, he
Ali,
just tried
they
to
mean
pin it on
God.
me.
But
Look,
then
you're a
it's not-
hypocrite.
I'm satisfied with
You
your
are.
answer.
You said I tried to.
So
I
you-
tried to avoid the
so
question. You're avoiding the question.
So you're saying that Ali
You
is
said
God.
something.
No, Ali
I'm
is
trying
not
to-
God.
But then
Ali
why
is-
do you-
Ali is the name.
Okay, so if
Why would
you're-
you think Ali is
in
God?
Hebrew,
Why would you think Ali is
So
God?
you're satisfied that he's not God? Then
Why
do
would
need
you
a
think?
proof? Why do you need a proof of that?
Why would you think? You just
You
said.
that
That
you're-
is the what the
You just
gentleman-
said that you believe Allah. Ali is
Guru
Allah.
have told me.
So
No, but you
you just said that-
This question,
you said that you got an answer that Ali is not God and you're satisfied with it based on
But he
evidence you
wants to
came.
find out,
So
he
then
wants
why
to
do you
make
need
sure-
evidence now
yeah.
when you already got the answer and
Yeah.
you said you're satisfied with it.
But you still ask the same question. You see, when they ask the same question, he already knows Ali is not God. He asked so many people, they tell him, so is Ali God or not? I'm asking you. You seem confused. I'm not. I'm not confused. I'm not confused. Is Ali God or not? You're asking people this question. You're going to so many people and you're asking them, is Ali God or not? So you have doubt whether Ali is God or not.
Ali is not God.
Okay, so why would you ask me this question then? Why, when I'm answering your question,
I want to confirm this.
But you're asking a different
so
question.
why
now.
why would you want to confirm something?
Here in Hyde Park.
Why would you want to confirm something?
For the sake of knowledge.
And you said
But
yourself that Ali is
you
the
must
name
have.
of God.
Why would you be? Why would you want to know that?
Hebrew, there is- they
Then you asked a different question. Do the Shias believe? You asked first.
Yeah,
is Ali
you're
God?
trying to be
You asked
sly.
a different question after that.
That's what they are saying.
Who's saying? You just said that. I didn't hear these people. I never heard anybody say Ali is God, but I hear you say it.
Just now.
What I'm
that
trying to
you
tell
believe
you,
Allah
you're
is God.
trying to
I
ask.
heard them.
I don't have the doubt. You have
I
a
was
doubt.
very confused.
Listen, you are very confused. That's why. You are very confused. I'm asking you.
You haven't answered my
I'm
question.
trying to.
No, no,
Oh
no,
my
no.
God! I answered
You
all
are
your
not
questions. I've
near it.
answered all your questions.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
very
you see it
satisfied.
now? You know what?
He said-
You know what?
when he said-
I've answered these questions, and he's saying I didn't answer his
They
question.
were God.
This is the
They
typical
were.
behavior of ignorant people. You see, they get to this age, yeah, and they still.
I'm not thinking of
Why-
Hazrat Ali,
why are you
but
still
I
thinking-
think of Hazrat Ali. He created-
You're still held up on the point. Listen, if you're trying to learn about Imam
When
Ali,
I asked somebody like him here, he said, oh no.
Okay, what do you say about the word Ali al-Ala? It's related to God.
A'la
It doesn't
al-Ali.
mean he is God. You know, وَعَلِيُّ الْأَعْلَى
Yeah.
يُكْرِيُّ السَّمَوَاتِ فَيُقُولُ لَعِزَّتِي وَجَلَالِي.
that's in all the religions. That's in all the scriptures. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. All he cares is who's God. He thinks that a human can be God. Yeah, that's what he's. You see, it's simple. If he's trying to beat around the whole thing, he's not being honest with himself. I'm trying to get him to understand himself. He needs to understand what he's trying to. You see, no. You see, that's exactly, look. Shaitan just moved his lips. Shaitan just moved his lips. He didn't want to accept something. I answered his question. He said I didn't answer it. I answered your question. I answered your question. What question did he ask that I didn't answer? I answered every question of yours.
But he just said it like...
I answered it so many times. I keep saying, you saying I avoided the
He just
question.
said 5 minutes ago, he said Allah is God.
So what is the point? What is the matter with you? What is the matter with you? Why are you so stuck? Do you like to go hell? Do you like Allah? Are you trying to go to heaven or are you trying to understand Allah? Because you asking a question saying, is Ali Allah?
That's what
Yeah?
they say. That's what they say. And I want you to...
Okay, what do you say? What do
I
you
don't
say?
believe
You
that.
don't want to
No,
say anything.
I don't believe
Oh
that.
my God.
I don't
Wow.
believe that.
He just said he doesn't,
Ali,
he wanted to ask a question and he doesn't want to speak truth.
I want your opinion.
He
on
just tried to avoid the entire truth. He asked a question, I answered the question. I ask him a question, he avoids it. He says, I'm trying to avoid
don't
something.
ask me a question.
It's simple
I'm
facts.
a
You see,
layman.
he's
I'm
still
a layman.
interrupting.
I'm
He's got
not
no
that.
manners. What's an old man? He's no manners. No manners. He can't even be honest with himself. He comes to me out of everyone. I don't even know him. I've never met this guy. He just came up to me out of everyone in
No,
this.
you are making a speech.
No. Well,
Yeah,
yeah. So why did you ask me a question?
Well, that's what...
Why did you
No,
ask me a
if-
question?
if
Why
he-
did
if
you
he
try
just
to
said to you
interrupt?
that- if
Why are
you-
you interrupting
If
now?
you said that Ali is the name of God...
Why are you asking me? Allah is not going to forgive you. Do you think Allah is going to forgive you? You're sorry for what? You're sorry for what? You're sorry for what? Please tell me what you're sorry for and I'll accept it. You're trying to ask me for forgiveness. You've done something wrong. You feel guilty. Now you're walking away. Why did you do that? Why would you make yourself feel guilty and want to make me feel guilty? What you did was wrong. What you did was wrong, so you're apologizing, but you're not even being honest with yourself. Why would you apologize to me then?